So I'm just taking a quick break here, waiting for an order to come through. But your brother is someone that should have been here as a pillar of support and care. How is it that it seems to have self serving actions over any genuine expression of love or loyalty? Instead of being a protector or ally of mine, as I feel a sibling is supposed to be, it appears that he's constructed that facade where he plays this fraudulent role as the broker that he was supposed to be to take care of his little brother. But I don't think there was any means to actually take care of his brother. Just more hurt. That far, huh? Just gotta keep grinding. But when you're like going to somebody before you're like falling behind on your payments, and you could have taken out a loan, and he says, "Oh, I don't think you'll be able to do that." Well, it's not even a matter of that. He doesn't think that you'll be able to do that. It's a matter of fact that he doesn't want me to. He's always been betraying me, cutting me deeply inside since I was a little kid. So the manipulation that's there over like the support system that should be there is drawing me to a few conclusions. But it seems that it's just to exploit my situation for his own benefit, masking the betrayal as care, drawing into the harmful dynamics and leaving me out entirely. Actions that are more about control or neglecting me and dismissing me and minimizing my concerns than being a loving support system or being a brother, as a brother I feel should be. So when it comes to that kind of abandonment, it's failing to stand by me in moments that are just extreme, that I'm in extreme need, when I was just about murdered, like legitimately poisoned out of my mind, so that these people could convert their own actions against me and make it like it's and goading me on, mind you, to try and make me react to where it would suggest that it's my fault somehow. And so the absence in and of itself is just, in those life and death moments, I guess it speaks volumes about his own priorities, where I feel that they're cold-faced lie. So there's complicity and blindness to harm me. Either way, whether directed or indirected, his actions or lack thereof appear to align with those who sought out to harm me, like Jesse Lee, my former girlfriends. And not to mention, this last one was just completely, completely uncalled for. And so I was left isolated. I was left vulnerable. I was left in just in a really bad situation where it was like exploiting my trust. And the same way with him, it just exploited my trust because it's using his own position of power as sibling to gain access of influence, while completely at the same time undermining me, ignoring me, dismissing my concerns. And then it's to shake the claim that I'm the one that went too far with what I had to say about how I've been fighting for my own health, like holistically. Like I've said, I've spent probably 10 grand on my own healing over a period of time, And not to mention that, but the juicing, all the oils, all the extra time spent. Instead of doing anything that I love doing, I'm sitting there having to fight for my health. So it's just treating the familiar bonds as what I feel is a mere transactional. Just transactional, that's it. It's nothing sacred, nothing that you can actually have a conversation with them about, because it's just to undermine you, and then right away it just goes to shut you off. Shut you out, shut you off, and then it goes beyond just ignoring you. It's just not only ignoring you, it's acting like they can do no wrong, and you're in the wrong for disrespect. He says you're in the wrong for disrespecting my wife. Well, no, I'm just saying what's going on, because she lied about me in the first place to push me inside of that position instead of helping me. Just suggesting that just because I believe in God, and I believe that if you pray in that kind of way, where you have faith that the Lord can do mighty things inside of your heart for the truth, or your bellies for the truth, and using discernment for the truth, that you can actually have a real conversation, a better conversation with God than you can with these people that just don't see it. They don't want to see it. And so it's like, oh, you hear voices in your head. No, I don't hear voices in my head. It's not even the truth. And then even inside of that place, there were people that were telling me, coming in there to work with my case, saying that they have no legal right to hold you here against your will. And that's exactly what they were doing, is just holding me there anyway, even though I had people specifically telling them that they're in the wrong, and that rather my family and people in my family are acting insane over what I'm suggesting I'm going through. And mind you, it was what I was going through. When I ended up in the shelter, that's when I finally got a second diagnosis suggesting that I was going through what I was saying that I have been going through. And then everyone in the shelter was like a circus for like 2 days straight, basically, cleaning everything in sight and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I just feel like it's leaving me feel completely sold out. Whereas in the King James Version, it teaches that love should be patient and kind and selfless. But his actions feel very self-absorbed, as if betraying me into throwing me down the gauntlet, basically, into that slavery. And it's of abandonment without actually caring about me, what I'm suggesting or what I'm saying. And even if I am wrong, then I should be able to be allowed to my opinion. And the fact of the matter is that my emotions are not wrong. My emotions about these things are very real. So I've just been left not only spiritually and emotionally deadened inside, but I was almost left physically killed enough times to know that these people in the recent needed and wanted me dead to convert and cover up their crimes, because I was confronting them. I was asking for fucking proof, because you're not gonna just do this to me again. I was in a resolve for my love life that I had nearly forgotten about, because I didn't want it. I didn't want to think that my friend, my own girlfriend, could go to the levels that they did. So the impact that I've had, that it's taken on me in this betrayal, is just eroded my trust completely. So it's hard to trust anybody when it comes to someone who chooses to even want to be close to me, because I'm afraid of abandonment now, because everyone just abandons me in like the worst feelings ever, the worst emotions ever. And then how is that fair to me when I've been there like fighting for my relationships and trying, and maybe, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to do the right thing for my people and for the people that I love. So I'm not only left to question people's motives with me, but it's also to suggest that they aren't able to even see me clearly at all, or even try to be seeing me clearly. And then it's also to say that I don't see myself clearly. Because how could I? Because those actions weren't me. Those actions weren't my choice. If someone could love me right, I have the right to say no. Like, I don't want that in my life, and I'm gonna back out of the relationship, and then I wasn't even being allowed to back out of my current relationship. And if people don't allow you your own autonomy in that fashion, they're all rather possessive of you with the goal in mind of using you. It's not in any kind of goal of helping you. It's all about hurting you, and hurting you really badly. So I'm just left with my emotions and feelings of worthlessness, being treated like an afterthought, or even worse, as a tool for their own manipulative gains. So my own brother has left me grappling with the feelings of inadequacy and invisibility basically my whole life. Like, it doesn't matter what I say or what I do to do anything or try to move right, when they're just out, when he is outright just being backlashing towards me in a very covert and narcissistic way. That's not cool at all with me, and that's in my class. I even have it in my niche for hard works as to how to fix these things and how to communicate properly about these things, but no one's even willing to look at it. You're just like, oh, you're building your dream. He's building his dream, and I'm doing my own thing. And we're all separate entities now. But that's no brother. Especially all the time and effort that I've put into my relationships in that fashion with them all. I should be able to be loved and respected enough to have it to where the things that I'm putting together matter just as much. And if you ask me, with what's being pushed into my belly from the Lord, is telling me that they're denying what's absolutely going to free your entire family. Free you and free anybody you want to free in this world from that kind of grip of slavery, or that kind of grip at all in that fashion, where we have been so duped by the financial systems and by our government and by people that legitimately just want to stupefy us into this reality of just complete and utter worthlessness, like predictive type of COINTELPRO or Zersetzung tactics, which is gang stalking, Stasi swastika style policing abilities. And like, don't get me wrong, I believe that there's good people in the world. I just don't believe that they know this stuff. They don't study it. they're just rather order followers, and they're just willing to go with whatever their orders are. That's how Jesus was killed. So I'm not okay with that. And I think that the world grappling in that kind of fashion is just really bad, because we could be doing so much better as humanity if it wasn't for these kind of crimes that are being held over us. And so it's the unseen intent, basically, that leaves me feeling like it's all covert, because anybody whose intention is not going to be like manipulative and gaslighting and stuff like that, you're going to be able to feel it. You're going to be able to feel it inside of your core, that's what they're there for, and it's not to leave you in a trapped way in a web of their own manipulative deceit that even you can't fully understand, that's leaving you on constant edge all the time over the ability to actually help you. So I'm just going to suggest that it's not about love. It's about something that's a transactional gain for their own selves. That was to get rid of me. And just like moving that money around of all of my hard-earned efforts writing online was just stolen from me. Like, moved around IP addresses and all this other bullshit. And then it's just like, what did you do that for? And mind you, that was like legitimately like the next day, I think. Or maybe it was like two or 3 days after I had just been poisoned up really bad again. I could barely stand up that next day. And I was getting my memories wiped away from me at that point too. So anyway, I'll continue this message later. I gotta pick up this order. Thanks for being here and supporting me, showing me love.